Hello class 5, how are you all? Children, this is my last video for the academic session 2020-2021. You already know your exams are about to start from the month of March, and you probably have already been notified about your syllabus as well as your timetable for the exam. Okay. Now, so far you were appearing for online exam wherein you were getting multiple questions and you were asked to select one of the options as your answer. Okay. But this time, because it's final exam, so the mode of examination has been changed slightly. Instead of going for online multiple choice questions, this time you'll be getting a proper question paper whose answer you have to write down in your answer sheets. Okay. Now, for many of you, it will be the first time, so it's obvious that you'll be quite apprehensive, you'll be quite anxious. You might have many doubts related to what kind of questions are going to come in your exam. And in today's video, I would like to clear your doubts. I'm going to give you examples. I'll show you what kind of questions, how questions will be put up in your question paper, and in what way are you supposed to answer those questions. Okay, so mind it, keep in mind, it is just a sample, it is just an example. So you follow the example and you prepare yourself, because the questions that you will be getting in exam will not only consist of the questions that are given at the back of each chapter, but there are many questions which will be coming from within the chapter. Okay, so for that it is very important that you read each chapter carefully. Even if it requires from you to read a chapter 2 to 3 times, you have to do it, because there is no other solution, there is no other way of doing your exam, giving your exam in a better way. Until and unless you read the chapter, you know the story, you will not be able to answer many of the questions. Okay, so for that it is very important. And then it is also important for you, it is also necessary that you must try to answer the questions in your own sentences. Okay, so let us see few of the examples. Okay, how what kind of questions are going to come and how you are supposed to answer them. Follow the instructions carefully which will be given in the question paper. In each question you must read each question carefully and you must follow the instructions carefully. Okay, how you are going to do it, let's see. The first kind of question that is going to come in your exam is where you will be asked to answer a question in 1 or 2 words. Okay, again, give answer in 1 or 2 words. So the instruction is what? That when you read the question, the answer should be either of 1 word, or if necessary, it can be of 2 words. But it should not be more than 2 words. Try to answer them within 1 or 2 words. Okay, let's see the example. Now the first question is, what was Birbal cooking in the pot? Now if you remember the story, if you have read the story properly and you remember the story, you will know that what was Birbal cooking in the pot? He was cooking khichdi. So instead of writing the complete answer in the sentence form, you have to write only the main answer, that is khichdi. What was he cooking in the pot? Khichdi. So that is a 1 word answer. Okay. Second question, what did Rinku Talwar call the old man? Now see, you must remember that Rinku Talwar was a character in which story? It was a character in the story The Mysterious Neighbor. So then you have to remember the story of Mysterious Neighbor also. And you have to remember who all were there. What were the name of the different kids? So one of the kid was Rinku Talwar. And when every kid was giving a name to the old man, Rinku Talwar also said something about the old man. What did he say? He said that the old man was a greedy glutton. So the correct answer is greedy glutton. So see, in the first question the answer is of only 1 word, whereas in the second one the answer is of 2 words. So in this type of question, whatever question will be given, you will be answering it in either 1 word or maximum in 2 words. Now remember, questions like these, for these questions to be answered, you must know the story and the name of the chapter from which it is taken. Then only you will be able to recollect what you have studied or learned or read in the book. Okay, so this is one type of question. Let's see another type of question. The second kind of question will be where you will be asked to fill the blanks. Fill in the blanks. You will be asked to fill the blank in a sort as to make a complete sentence. Okay. For example, the bicycle had dash tires. Again, remember in which chapter bicycle was mentioned. It was again in the chapter The Mysterious Neighbor. So now you have to remember that when the boys went in the room, the first room, what did they find there? One of the things which they found in the first room was the bicycle. And what they noticed about the bicycle was that the tires of the bicycle were without air. Okay, they were deflated, had deflated tires. So this word, deflated word, is mentioned in the chapter. Okay, so that you have to remember. Second question. Dash sleep in buckets. Now this bucket word, if you'll try to search, if you'll remember, it's not given in the chapter part, it is given in the meaning part. Okay, where the word meanings of the chapter is given. And this line is from the poem The Plaint of a Camel. Okay, so now you have to remember which all things were mentioned. So one of the things was about the resting place of the animals. And out of that, which animal can sleep in buckets? Buckets is the meaning of the word pails, P-A-I-L-S, pails. So you have to recollect your memory, and then you have to answer who can sleep in buckets? That is oysters. Okay, so exact, it's not necessary that exact word from the chapter will be taken or exact sentence will be given. Many a times what happens is a blank or a sentence is given in own words. Okay, so like this sentence, it is in my own words. Just to check how much attentive, how much you remember the word meanings or the chapter. So that way you have to read the chapter carefully. I'm telling you again and again that you have to read the chapter, you have to read the chapter, then only you will remember from which chapter the lines have been taken. Okay, so this is another kind of question that is going to come in your exam. The third kind of question will be where you'll be given a sentence and you'll have to decide whether what is written in the sentence is true or false. Okay, so let's do the question. The question will be write true or false and then correct the false statement also. So here two things you have to do. First you'll have to read the sentence, then you'll have to write whether the sentence given is true or false, whether it is a true statement what has been given in the chapter or whether it is something which is against the information that is given in the chapter. And then if it is false, then you'll have to correct that statement also. Okay, let's see the example. The first example, Peter Pan likes grown-ups. Now Peter Pan is the chapter, remember, and in the chapter, if you read the chapter, in one of the lines mentioned that he did not like grown-ups, he did not like adult people who were grown up. So the first thing, Peter Pan likes grown-ups. Is it correct? Is the sentence telling you the right thing about Peter Pan? No. So you will mention here false, either F or complete spelling of false. Then you'll have to correct the statement. The correct statement will be that you have to write complete. Peter Pan did not like grown-ups. Okay, second example. The poor man spent the whole night in the cold lake water. This is from the chapter Birbal's Khichdi. So if you remember, one of the person took up the challenge and he spent one whole night in the lake water which was very cold. So the same thing is being said in this sentence, that the poor man spent the whole night in the cold lake water. So is it telling the truth or is it telling a false thing? It is telling the truth. So here you will either write true or you will just mention T. Because the statement is already true, you do not have to rewrite it. You will correct the statement only when it is a false statement. After writing false, then you will write the correct statement. What was actually the real thing? What was actually the correct statement? Okay, so in true and false, remember, if this second part is mentioned, correct statement you will write only if you are being asked. If it is only saying write true or false, then you will only mention true or false. If it is not asking you to correct the false statement, you will not write the false statement, because you will not be getting an extra mark for that. Okay, the correct statement you will write only if it is asked in the instruction part of the question. Okay, next type of question is give reason for each statement. Okay, now this is something new for you. Now here what is being asked, that a statement will be given, and then you'll have to give reason that why that statement is written. You have to tell the reason. For example, Mrs. Darling was sewing a shirt. So you have to tell why Mrs. Darling was sewing a shirt. So the answer is because it was Michael's birthday. Okay, or you can say she was sewing a shirt for Michael as it was his birthday. So you can straight away start from your answer from because it was Michael's birthday soon. Okay, so this is the reason which tells you why Mrs. Darling was sewing a shirt. Second one, the camel complains about his shape. The reason is, why was camel complaining about his shape? Because he is all bumpy and humpy. His body shape is not smooth. You can see when it comes to this type of question, you have to use your own sentences, because the exact answer is not given in the book. Yes, it is given in the explanation part. So either you listen to the explanation carefully, repeatedly, or you try to answer that in your own words. So if somebody says why the camel complains about his shape. The question is why? Why was he complaining about his shape? Because he does not have a smooth body. That is also one of the answers which you can write. Or you can write he has a bumpy and a humpy body, so he is complaining about his shape. Okay, the next kind of question will be word meanings. You will be given words from each chapter whose meaning you'll have to answer. You have to write it down. In each chapter there are few words given on mostly in each page. Words are given with their meaning. You have to learn the meanings of those words in order to answer this question. Okay, next is make sentences. Now when it comes to make sentences, generally it is given in when a make sentence question is given, what we expect from you is that you are using the word given in your own words. Okay, whatever word is given, that you have to write in, you have to use them in a sentence of your own, rather than copying a sentence from the chapter, from the book. It is always preferred that you write the sentence in your own words. So when make sentences question is given, wherein 4 or 5 words will be given, and you will be asked to use those words, each of those words, in a sentence of your own. So try to use them in your own words rather than copying from the taking a sentence which is already given in the chapter. Okay, next one is answer in brief. Answer in brief is, you can say, short answers which can be answers in 1 or 2 sentences. So answer in brief will consist of questions like what were Akbar and Birbal doing one fine early in the morning. Akbar and Birbal were having a walking along the lake early in the morning. So these kinds of questions will come in answer in brief, that is short answers. Brief means you have to answer it in 1 or 2 sentences. Okay, next question will be reference to context. Reference to context you have in each chapter. If you will go through the after your question answers comes the part wherein few lines, one or two lines from the within the chapter is taken, and a few questions are written which are based on those sentences. So in order to answer those questions, you'll have to remember the part of the chapter from where those sentences are taken. So that reference to context you will be able to do only when you know the story. Okay, reference to context generally doesn't have long answers. The answers of reference to context can be in one word or one sentence or maximum two sentences. It doesn't need a long answer or bit answer. The ninth one is answer in detail. Now the word detail means it can be, the answer can be comprised of, it can be written in 3 or 4 sentences. Okay, so detail is long answer, not very long, but answer which can be, questions which can be answered in 3 or 4 sentences, that comes in this one. Okay, for example, describe the way the boys entered the old man's house. So it has got 3 or 4 sentences. Okay, or how did Birbal meet Akbar's challenge? So you can say in order to meet Akbar's challenge, Birbal went to faraway places. He searched for a man who was willing to spend one whole night in the cold water of the lake. So see, the answer is written in, it is made up of 3 or 4 sentences. So that kind of question comes in answer in detail. And the last one is character sketch. Character sketch is where you will be asked to write few lines about the main character of the story. For example, when it comes to Birbal's Khichdi, we can ask you to write few lines on Birbal. So you can, whatever thing has been mentioned in the chapter, you have to, use that information and you have to write it in your own words. For example, Birbal was a very well-known person. He was an advisor in Akbar's court. He was known for his wit. All these things are given in the book, and it has been explained in the video also. Okay, so these things you can mention, and then you can also say that he took up a challenge. And he found a man who was willing to spend one whole night. When the man was not rewarded by Akbar, Birbal came to his rescue, and he made Akbar realize his mistake. As a result of Birbal's sharpness or intelligence, the king, the emperor Akbar, realized his mistake and he rewarded the old man, the poor man. So the whole gist of the chapter you have given through Akbar's character sketch. Character sketch means you have to tell about the nature, about the personality of the person. Similarly, you can be asked about the character sketch of Peter Pan. So if you see in your book only, when it comes to Peter Pan, if you have gone through the chapter very clearly, about Peter Pan, few sentences have been given in your book. For example, it is written here. If you see here carefully, in this para only, the introductory part of Peter Pan is mentioned. For example, you can say that Peter Pan is a boy who never grows old. He comes from a magical land called Neverland. It is mentioned here, he is a fun-loving person. He is fond of nature. He is very mischievous. He does not like adult people. And then this is mainly about Peter. Then you can say he made friends with he made friends with Wendy, John and Michael. So he used to visit them every night when they were asleep. But one night when he found Mrs. Darling in the room, he got angry and he bared his teeth, or he gnashed his teeth at her. And you can also tell something about him which is already mentioned in the chapter, like Peter Pan doesn't wear normal clothes. He is totally covered in skeleton leaves. So these kinds of, he can fly is also one of the ability. Okay, so these kinds of things, through the story only you get to know a lot of things about Peter Pan. So that thing you can write in your own words. Okay, so that is what I am saying. Speaking in English, reading and practicing it is very important if you want to perform well in your exams, be it any subject. Okay, so these are the type of questions that are going to come in your exam. So all the best for your exams, and let's hope that you do better. Okay, now when it comes to the language part, see, literature is basically all about chapters. The questions are based on the chapters. But when it comes to language, you have topics. For example, you have got a topic of punctuations. Now, if you see in your book, there were separate questions for punctuations. Put commas, put capital letters wherever necessary. One question was totally on commas. One question was totally on punctuations. Okay, one question was totally on capital letters. But separate questions are not going to come in your exam. When it is language part, for example, punctuation, a simple question will come. You will be asked to rewrite a sentence using correct punctuations. That will be the question. Rewrite the sentence using correct punctuations. Now, when this sentence is given, in this question is given, there will be 4 or 5 sentences which will all be written in completely small letters. Now, you will have to decide. You will have to remember that punctuations include capital letters, punctuations include commas, punctuation includes question mark, punctuation includes speech mark, which is also called quotation marks. Okay, so there are these different full stop is also there, abbreviation is also there. So all these things which you have already done in the book separately, separate questions were there, that knowledge you have to use in one question, in one sentence. Okay, one sentence will be given in whole answer will be, a whole sentence will be in small letter. Then you will have to remember, okay, this is punctuation, so I have to start with a capital letter. So when you will be rewriting the sentence, you will use the punctuation, like where to write capital letter, where to put a full stop or a question mark. For that, you have to remember whether the sentence is a statement or it's a question, whether it's an exclamatory sentence, whether it's a declarative sentence, or whether it's an interrogative sentence. So based on the kind of sentence, you will be using the punctuation mark of full stop, question, or exclamation mark. Then you'll have to take care of where all capital letters are to be used. If there are similar things mentioned in the sentence, then you'll have to put a comma in between. Okay, so the whole punctuation, different punctuations which you did separately in your book, will come in a compact form, in a combined form in your question. So in each sentence, you'll have to use all of the punctuations as much as possible if required. Okay, so that is the punctuation part. Now when it comes to the tenses part, now tenses is, I have told you to learn the sentence structure. Why? Because you will be asked to rewrite a sentence by changing the tense. Okay, for example, if a sentence is written in present continuous tense, you will be asked to change it into past tense. So for that, you'll have to remember two things. First is the 3 forms of verb, V1, V2, V3, present, past, and participle form. And then you have to remember the sentence structure of past tense. What is the sentence structure of past tense? You'll have to remember, okay, what is the sentence structure for past tense? Okay, it is subject plus V2 form plus the remaining information. So when you'll be writing, when you'll be reading a sentence, you'll have to identify the subject. Okay, this is the subject. After subject will come the V2 form. So where is the verb? If the verb is going, then you will say go. Okay, is going is like the ing form of go. So you have to change it into past tense. Then you have to remember the past of go is went. So he is going to Delhi will become he went to Delhi. So when it comes to tenses, you have to remember the sentence structure. You have to learn the sentence structure, because the same thing is gonna be repeated in class 6, class 7, and so on. Okay, so that is tenses. Then comes your prepositions. Prepositions, whatever sentences have been given in your book, please read them. Even the example part also you'll have to read in order to understand the usage. Okay, and then what is the conjunctions? Okay, when it comes to conjunctions, you will be given 2 sentences, but the words will not be given. So you'll have to decide which word to use to join the sentences. And remember, when it is conjunctions, you'll have to write the complete sentence. Don't, if I have given 2 sentences, Mohit is sad, Mohit is crying. So you don't write only so. You have to join the 2 sentences showing the conjunction, like Mohit is sad, so he is crying. Okay, or Mohit is crying because he is sad. So the complete sentence is to be written there, not just the conjunction word. So these things you have to remember. Then tenses is done, punctuation is done, conjunction is done, preposition is done. Okay, and then comes your letter part. When you will be doing letter, remember there is formal letter as well as informal letter. given, you'll be given a choice. Out of the two, you'll have to do one. Remember, if you'll follow the format of letters properly, few points you can easily gain. Like if you are following all the formats of formal letter, there are 3 marks for the writing the correct format, letter in the correct format, and the remaining will be the main part, the second part of your letter. Similarly, when it comes to informal letter, 2.5 marks is for the format of the letter, the way you are writing it, and the remaining one is for the matter which you are writing in your paragraph. Okay, then there will be question about picture composition. Picture composition will be like a picture will be given to you in the question paper. You will have to observe the question paper, the picture very carefully, and then you have to describe what is happening in that picture. So the first thing that you are going to do is you'll take a overall look. What is the picture showing? Suppose it is a picture of a birthday party. You will say a birthday is going on, and then slowly you will start describing what is happening in the birthday party, who is doing what, who is wearing what, and who is eating what. So all these things you will be asked to describe in 100 or 150 words. Okay, then it comes to the composition part, wherein a topic will be given to you, and you'll have to write few lines on it. Okay, and then there will be one unseen passage, that is a short paragraph will be given, and few questions will be given based on that paragraph. The answers of those questions will be in the paragraph only. So in order to answer those questions, you'll have to read the paragraph. Okay, don't straight away jump to the answering part. Read the paragraph carefully, and then when you'll come to the question part, you will straight away recognize, okay, this question, the answer is given in the second line or the third line of the paragraph. So unseen passage, which is called comprehension, questions will be from within the paragraph. It's just like what you do in your literature. You read the chapter and then you try to find the answers. Similarly, in unseen passage will be given, a paragraph will be given. Based on the paragraph, few questions will be given, whose answer you'll have to find from the paragraph, and you'll have to write it down. Okay, so unseen passage will be there, picture composition will be there, letter will be there, and the remaining topics which have been touched in your final exam, they will be there. Okay, so you'll have to practice grammar. It's not something that you can learn, because even I don't remember what I have given. Okay, so something which is given in past tense in your book, maybe I'll change it into I'll ask you to change it into some other tense which is not given in the book. Okay, but you have practiced it. If you have practiced it, then you will be able to change it. Okay, so prepare yourself well for your exams, and all the best.